What if I told you that buying a car that needs fixing, putting in the work to repair it and then selling it could actually make you a lot of money? The internet is full of success stories about people who have made a ton of cash by flipping cars. This has made more and more people interested in trying it out for themselves, drawn by the promise of easy money. But is it really as simple as it sounds to make money this way? Is making a profit from flipping cars really that straightforward? I want to show you a different side of the story today, talking about the tough parts and challenges that people don't usually mention. A real story behind the shiny success stories of car flipping, looking at what's not often talked about. Let's begin from the start. I began this project with £500, aiming to reach £25,000 by flipping cars and eventually buying one of my dream cars. So far I've flipped 6 different cars and currently have in the budget £3,510. And this time I bought not only one but 2 cars. Meet a 2011 Ford Fiesta. This Ford has a category N, indicating damage to the rear end along with various dents and scratches. It didn't take me long to pinpoint the primary damage. Fortunately, the rear end damage appeared relatively minor. Although both sides of the bumper were impacted, it looked like it could be fixed without needing to replace the whole bumper. But from the rest of the pictures, I couldn't uncover any further damage. It seemed to be an easy and quick repair, until I got the car. It looks decent from afar, but let's take a closer look. The first damage that attracts the eye's rusted wing. Wow, it's so bad. The whole wing is just rusted. The paint is coming off. Both driver doors, yeah, they've seen better days. The door is scratched. Also, rear doors are scratched as well. Rear quarter, wow, that's bad. It's really bad. And the rear bumper, it's barely hanging. Scratch rear quarter. This side looks way better, but there are some key scratches. From the auction I've seen only picture from this angle. Car was actually too dirty and I couldn't see scratches on the both doors. So basically I did it only knowing that there is a damage here. On the other side I've seen only scratch on the rear bumper. Now let's take a look to the interior. I mean, that's bad. It's dirty, but you can't expect clean car from Coppert. Well, yeah, it definitely needs good cleaning. I don't really like a ripped seat. At least the engine works fine. That's a big plus. I mean, the bodywork we can fix, but the engine, that would be a catastrophe. But right now, engine looks alright. Let's do a test drive. Wait, what? Hang on a minute. Shifter gets to every gear and drives fine. It just feels like you are wrestling with it to get into a gear. I'm worried it might be a gearbox issue, and if that's the case, fixing everything up might be not worth the hassle. And here is my second car, Citroen DS3. Well, it definitely looks better than Ford Fiesta. The front is alright, the side is scratch free. Maybe the alloy wheel is a bit scratched. There is some scuff, and yeah, it's missing the cap. Wing mirror is a bit scratched down here as well. But the main damage is to the boot lid. You can see how big dent it is. Overall, from the exterior, only that big dent on the boot lid. Yeah, that's the only damage on the car. Well, it definitely looks better than Fiesta. It's way cleaner. There is some trashes overall. That's not so disgusting like in the Fiesta. The handbrake handle is a bit ripped. It starts as well with no issues. However, there was one hidden issue as well, and it's kind of big one. Yup, we have again problems with the gearbox. There is second gear, there is third gear, fourth, and so on. All gears exist except the first one. For some reason it doesn't go into first gear. Again, we have issues with the gearbox. Hopefully that it's not that serious. If it is, unlucky with both cars, but finger crossed, it's going to be easy to fix. 2 purchases and both came with hidden damages. Anyways, I'm not giving up. I will try to do my best to fix those cars and sell it for profit. I thought I was unlucky with both my cars, but then I did some digging and realized I was not the only one. Turns out, loads of people end up with cars that have way more problems than expected, but some people get extremely unlucky. Like for example, one person ended up losing about £2,000 because the car they bought wasn't as advertised. Another common example is when people unknowingly purchase stolen cars. For one person, this situation led to a prolonged legal battle, now extending over 3 years with expenses nearing £60,000. And lastly, somebody bought the latest model BMW M3, but there was one catch that the buyer didn't expect. Can you tell me what's not right in this picture? If you had spotted a completely different engine, then you would have saved thousands of pounds. Purchasing a salvage car is quite risky. Some people end up losing their money, but many still manage to turn a profit. Let's see what happens to me. Will I end up making a profit or losing money? First things first, I needed to figure out what was causing issues on both cars. A YouTube video helped me to discover a potential solution for sticky shifter in my Ford. It seems that a rusted gear changer arm is a common issue in Ford Fiestas, causing the shifter to move into gear less smoothly. To address this, I had to remove two linkages. To remove it was very simple, just had to pop up with the flathead and that came off easily. Next, I had to remove the locker and then unscrew a T40 bolt. With that done, I simply removed the gear arm and applied a multi-purpose greaser. The shifter transitioned between gears more smoothly, although there was still some noticeable resistance. To address this, I opted to lubricate the shifter assembly, which effectively resolved the issue. Following this, the shifter was no longer sticky. Resolving primary issue gave me some confidence to proceed with further repairs to the car. The next issue I tackled was the scratched rear doors. After polishing the rear doors, I was surprised by the transformation. Only a few deeper scratches remained while the majority had disappeared. Encouraged by this progress, I followed the same process with the rear quarter and the front doors, and the final outcome looked promising. After polishing, I focused on the rear bumper. I removed the tape from the bumper and pushed it back into place, but taking off the tape revealed even more damage, so I had no other option but to repaint the entire bumper.
It's all the same, some things never change. I couldn't stop and say no. It's all the same, but you won't take the blame, even when you are blowing up. Oh my, you're my broken love. Nobody's gonna save enough. Oh my, you're my broken love. So come on, let me show you how. Nobody's gonna save enough. Oh my, you're my broken love. Nobody's gonna save enough. Oh my, you're my broken love. So come on, let me show you how.
Once I finished painting the bumper, I swapped out the rusty wing. I found the replacement wing on eBay for only £70 and it matched the same color, so there was no need to paint it. I also considered replacing the torn driver's seat, but the prices were too steep. Used seats were ranging from £150 to £250. Therefore, I chose to not replace the seat this time. Finally, the last issue I wanted to tackle was the key scratches. After watching several online videos on how to fix them, I realized it didn't seem too difficult, so I thought, why not to give it a try? The first step involves sanding the scratched area, followed by applying multiple coats of paint, sanding it again, applying several layers of lacquer, sanding once more, and then polishing. While the process wasn't difficult, it was quite time consuming. Despite not achieving a perfect result, it definitely looked much better than before and I am satisfied with it. Now, the Ford Fiesta is fully prepared for sale and here is the final result. Now, what about Citroen? I tried to find out why there was no first gear, but unfortunately I couldn't pinpoint the issue. In the meantime, as I was working on fixing up Ford Fiesta, I took my Citroen to a local garage to have it checked out. Long story short, I ended up paying £120 and the Citroen was fully repaired. Surprisingly, they even removed the dent from the bootlet without my request and without charging me for it. Although it wasn't flawless, as the one big dent turned into several smaller ones, I decided to clean the car and list it for sale as is, at a slightly reduced price. After a week, both cars have been sold, so now let's talk about cost breakdown. Ford Fiesta I won for £782 and Citroen DS3 I won for £1,056. Now, all the expenses like parts, materials, plus delivery for Ford Fiesta cost me £328 and for Citroen £294. That brings the total cost for Fiesta to £1,100 and for DS3 £1,350. Now, I sold Ford Fiesta for £1,350 and Citroen DS3 sold for £1,850. That brings a profit from Ford £250 and from Citroen I earned £500. So we are wrapping up this episode with a budget total of £4,260. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoy it and see you in the next one. Peace.
It's all the same, but you won't take the blame. Even